Hi there. Okay, so I've already done this once before, and we're gonna try and take two because this is, oh my god, that is a mess. Anyway, so update video, small update video. Let's see if we can keep it under 20 minutes, shall we? So, my life has been a spiral of ups and downs and highs and lows, and those are pretty much synonyms when describing that, but who cares? It's been great. So we've had a situation happen here where I have had to face almost eviction, and we are days away from that lovely countdown. Today we had a breakthrough with some really good news. We did find a place that seems promising. I have had to go through the struggle of learning how to talk to people properly when asking for them to assist in letting you move in to either an apartment building or a rental home or wherever that you're seeking. And with the limited funds, because I was a smart person, not really, and quit my job, yeah, when you got limitations like that, you kind of don't have much to ride on. And people notice that the longer they talk to you. And I had to learn not to say the word eviction. It's turned into the E word. You don't say the E word when you're talking to people. And I didn't know that because, you don't really train for these kind of circumstances until it's at your front door going, hey, it's a thing now. So we knew about this for a while, but a lot of things had to happen before other things could happen, and thus leading us down a long road of change. Changes, I guess. I have had to grow up a lot in the past few months, and I'm still growing. I'm still not perfect, and I'm still gonna make mistakes left and right, and I'm still working on this mess of a life that I have. Picking things up and putting them into place. It's fun. Not really. So you're wondering, where's the positivity come in? Where's all this come in with all this change? And in the moment of realizing that you have accomplished something after all these hardships is actually really rewarding. And to know that I am gonna hopefully officially have some place to call home and be able to sleep at night and be able to sit there and go, I did it. I did it. And I had a lot of help. I had a lot of help from my therapist, who she is a godsend, and my old caseworker. He helped out a lot too, and both of them have been a really great team to take on my issues, when they have so many other clients to go through, and specifically point me out in a crowd and go, yeah, we'll help you. And I have been trying hard to understand and learn from them. And I've also been passing down when I have the time to help others. And I wore myself thin at one point, admittedly. But that was an even harder task to achieve. Because when you stop worrying about you and you let all your problems sit on the back burner, they will burn and boil over, and it causes a house fire, and then you're sitting there in the smoke-filled room going, how did this happen? So for me, I eventually went through the point where during all this, instead of going, well, I can't help you, I was so bitter and so negative that I was looking at people and just saying, I can't talk about certain things right now, or I can't help you right now. And that killed me deep down, because I'm usually the person who's like, give me your burdens. Lay them on my shoulders, cry on my shoulder. I'll do whatever you need me to be. And I couldn't be that. And it sucked. And I hated it. And I can't wait to be able to be back just being a weird, anxiety-ridden ball of sunshine about something else. Because I have hated myself at points, and I have thought about taking like an easy route to just move out of state and have that going for me, and just to start really all over and leave everything I knew behind. But part of me was so afraid that decided to try and make something work here, and at the very edge of the rope, there it was. And I'm really thankful for it, and you have to be, I think, in times like that, to where you're just like, anything right now could make me smile. I had decent holiday. It was alright. I'm 28 now. I had a birthday who passed in December. So there's another update. I'm older now. I mean, we're all older. Every second we sit here, we're older. Not to put into that perspective. Sorry, because that sort of stuff freaks me out too. I hate having existential crises where you're just like, no, I don't want to think about my morality. I get it, trust me. But so yeah, a lot of lows. To start off with, I want to talk about that. I think is I had to make Band-Aid, what I call, decisions, where I had to sit there and go, I have to just do this, and I have to not think about it, because later on I'm going to find some way to where I can think about it. And I eventually did. And I uncapped that mess for one day, and that was painful. But I'm glad I did it. And a few things happened that were for the better. I'm not too keen on just saying it, but pretty much, I post on social media about it, that I had to do something that I wasn't ready for, but I had to because of our circumstances. And okay, I had to put my dog down of 13 years, and I had him for that long, and he was like pretty cool. He's kind of butt, but he's cool, and he's good to the very end, and he still had a personality on him, and he wasn't like too sick, but he was sick enough to where he was a liability, and I hate saying that. God, I hate saying it. And so many people were like asking me to make it work so it wouldn't have to happen. I had a lot of people, posting saying, they're sorry and that, they wish I could help. I contacted a few places, and it was, I would tell you something, you have no idea, like, how crazy it is that, like, certain breeds are pinned for being certain ways, and then, like, you add age onto it, and it was like, oh my god. It was nuts, and I couldn't believe, like, how some people would react. So, for me, it was just like, you know what, I think instead of someone adopting him, realizing that they couldn't handle him, and, it happening anyway, I wanted to be the one to be like, I'll do it. And I did. And I was thankful that we had financial help with it, because it was not only a hard point, it was also a very expensive moment, which I hate pinning the two together, because, you have memories and feelings that go with it. And my first thought wasn't even finances. It was just the fact that I was going to have to face this. And I've done it before, but when I first did it, I didn't realize what was happening because I was so young. And it was with a cat, and I didn't really understand. But what was weirder was going to the vet's office that morning, and that cat was still on their file, and I had to go up to the desk and let them know, like, you can take that off of there. And they were like, oh, that cat would have been 31 years old or something like that. And I was like, no. So, I mean, I'm trying to make very light of a very dark situation. And I've done part of my grieving process, and I wrote letters in his own words because he couldn't speak, to help me focus. And realizing that I still had work to do also kind of sucked, because it was like most people, they take a couple days or a week or so. I don't know how long you're supposed to averagely mourn for a pet, but, for me, it was like I did it on and off. And I had a lot of things happen here too where I didn't get a chance. So, I mean, it's been so hectic and so busy that I haven't been able to properly just sit down and just deflate all this negative energy, all these feelings that I have. But we did get we got a nice letter, nice condolence letter, and I have his pop right next to me on my stand, and I got him cremated, and he sits in my room, and it was one of those, I felt like he still belonged here, so I brought him home, and you know, I know, you have different ways that you can set up a burial or whatever, but for me, it's like, well, I'm not going to be in the place that I am in right now very much longer. No matter what the situation was, I wasn't, and that wasn't fair to him, and wasn't fair to my feelings, so I just was like, let's do it. And I got help with that too financially, and that was very nice of my family my family member, my cousin, to help me with that, and I gave her major props, and I couldn't thank her enough. So now it's on to other things, and to excuse my out of breath, I have really bad sinus issues right now. My nose is not helping with me, so I'm like having to talk and inhale like I'm out of breath and been running a mile. I'm also, I don't know if you could tell, a little on the round side. I mean, circle's the shape, right? Ha. That's comedy. That's how you do it. Don't. Anyway, so, moving on from that, a lot of touch and go. If you're ever in a situation where you're looking for housing and you have a lot of income issues, start with your local housing committee first. If you have one, if not, look online for whatever's closest, because they have been our best bet. And they're super excited. And for our town, you have first choice when you are a resident. So they were like really into helping us get in, and we have a few things we have to work on, but because of what's going on with our government right now, not to get too far into that at all, we've had to have some setbacks on information that we need to show them. So we told them, that's part of the deal. And so then that leaves me here and now, and in a very, very strange place, because I have lived here my whole life, and, well, except for like a year. And for me, even so, I'm weirdly okay with moving on from it. I've had a lot of good memories here, and I will miss the place, but I won't. A lot of repairs have to be done to it, and it's not like unlivable or anything, it's just old. We found out it was built in 1946 when we looked up the history of it, and it was like, whoa. So this place has held up its standards. Unfortunately, just it's time to get a new chapter going in a new location, which is okay with me. I've learned to accept it. I think ever since coming back from California when I went in July, I have realized that, like, I don't have to be steady in one place like this. Like, this isn't the only thing that exists, which is nice, and I like that. And I am pretty proud of the progress I've made from going on that adventure and growing up a little there too. And it's been, like I said, a lot of highs and lows, but a lot of positivity now that I can sit and think has come out of it, and I can't wait for what's next. And I hope that everyone's been doing good for whoever watches these things. I certainly, I enjoy making them when I can, when I'm not stressed out of my mind and just not willing to come on here and just say everything sucks and I hate myself, because I played that game already and I didn't want to spread that, and plus I had no motivation to do something like that yet. So, you're finally hearing from me in a very small update because usually I hit the 20-minute mark by now with just constantly trying to think of what to say. So hopefully this helps. Give some people hope that are going through rough times. If you're not going through rough times or just getting through, like I did, congratulations, you made it. But it's not over yet. And the next battle has only just begun, whether it's small or large. Also, I've learned it's okay to put yourself first in some situations, and it's okay to ask for help. That's been a big one. It's hard when, you're not sure who to trust in it, but you will learn. You'll learn during that time, who's there for you. And don't go around, testing people's fate either. That doesn't help. So just take it easy. And you may have to ride it out. A moving process is a long waiting process, and there will be days where you are sitting there feeling like you haven't done crap. And you really have. It's just you have two people who have to communicate, and sometimes people have other lives besides, trying to get you into a place to live. And I get it, it's hectic when you don't have much time. And that will weigh on your patience, but you have to learn to be patient. And I have had to learn to be patient, and I'm still learning to be patient. And that's an ongoing lesson to learn for me for eons, because I will say when it first started, my head scrambled. I had to have everything done and everything paid and everything moved, and now it's just kind of like, well, he did it, and we're gonna do this, and it's just gonna go as smooth as it can. And that's the best I have to take with it. And that's the best you're gonna have to take with it if you're in a very similar situation. Like, you're not alone in this. If you're watching this going, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to prioritize. Well, I kind of cheated because I got a therapist who's really great at, keeping me in the know and telling me, hey, like, don't run away with your emotions or your head, just stay put where you're at and just figure out what you can do right then and there and take baby steps. You gotta breathe. And oxygen is free still. Thank God. So that's always good. But yeah, you have to definitely take it in stride and give yourself a little leeway. Don't close yourself off into one space and saying that, you're horrible and you're not doing it right or you're not doing anything. Because I've been doing that and it doesn't help and it makes you more sad. And being more sad when you're already sad is really, really hard to come back from. So I'm just starting to do this uphill battle, and every inch of going uphill is still uphill. You're still going uphill. Whether it's an inch or a mile or a centimeter or a millimeter, or maybe you just dragged yourself away from the spot that you've been laying in. You're still doing it, and credit can be due from whatever point. It doesn't matter as long as you get there. And if you get knocked down a few notches because it rains and it's slippery and wet, eventually it'll dry up, And I've learned that. Definitely learned that. I've done the whole 2 spaces forward and a million spaces back, and sitting there rustling around in my head, just not helping. Not helping myself. And I get it seems like it's impossible sometimes with how stressful things can be and how life can just throw curveball after curveball, but eventually you get out and you hit a home run and you win the World Series and you go to Disney World and you drop your popcorn and that's over. No, I'm kidding. No, you go to Disney World and you go on a lot of the rides and you had a good time, and that's what I'm hoping eventually to get to, is my own personal Disney World, which I was there when I was 10, and that was weird, but that's another time, maybe. So, I hope you're doing okay. I hope that, this may have helped cheer you up or give you insight. If you haven't learned anything, just need someone to listen to while you're doing whatever you're doing, awesome. I hope that, everybody can hopefully find, the help they need. If not, don't be afraid to reach out, look for options. They're out there. I know it can be a little too close impossible with maybe finances or anything, but I'm sure in the long run there will be someone to always listen. I have looked up sites for free counseling, for even like peer-to-peer talking, and they have helped. So you're not alone in this, and we're all in this together. Not to sound like some strange musical or anything, but I hope everyone has a good morning, evening, noon, night, wherever you are, and I will see you all maybe next time in a new place. Bye.